Hi friends, Stevie here. Welcome to the final part 5 of Split Camp. This is our final flow. If you haven't done the other parts, it's okay. Each of these classes is technically a standalone offering. They do build on each other to some degree. However, you can do them in any order. And while these were created with the idea of really targeting components of front splits, one leg forward, one leg back with the hips generally square in the direction of the first leg. They are very useful even if you have no interest in doing the splits, if you already have the splits, if you're like, no way, that's not me. We're still working a lot on hamstring space for the front leg and hip extension or hip flexor space on the back leg, as well as keeping active lower limbs while we're doing this. This will play a part in many other movements besides front splits and even off your mat. And just in case you haven't done any of the other splits camp offerings, I do want to say that to me, the idea of full front splits in the traditional way it's taught with the hips perfectly square towards the front leg is not necessarily achievable by all bodies, and it's certainly past functional range for most people. So yes, they are pretty, they look nice, but that's about it. And that's still a great goal to have if that is what you're looking for. I do think the work you put into front splits can be really helpful elsewhere. But this idea that we all have to have this perfect split that looks exactly the same, and if you've been with me for some of the other classes, you know that while I can do front splits on my right side, my hips are not perfectly square by any means. On my left side, no way. So with that in mind, feel free to jump into this flow if you just want to play with some aspects of splitting the legs in either direction while keeping them very active. For our other splits camp offerings, it's been very much workshop based, lots and lots of props, slower drills where we do a lot of repetition. While I'll be repeating this flow, I know some people prefer flow. So that is what it is. It's called the final flow. And we'll be taking a lot of the things that we learned as far as pelvic positioning and hamstring engagement while stretching and putting it into a faster movement. So if you're coming here for the first time, totally fine. Let's keep in mind this idea of lengthening the tailbone down, pulling the pubic bone on the front of the pelvis up towards the sternum, squeezing the glute while we do so, especially for that back leg. And the idea that if we are stretching the hamstring in something like a half splits or even more of a pyramid stance, to press down through the front heel and drag back. That'll also help with the idea of squaring the hips. You may not get your deepest bend or fold, but you'll notice that there's still connection of the brain to the part of the body, the muscle, the hamstring. And that could be really helpful when we're doing some stretching. You don't technically need any props. However, we'll be spending a little bit of time on our knees, so that means if you want a towel or a blanket, I think that that's always a good choice, as well as maybe having a couple of blocks, both to set up the front versus the back of the mat since we will be pivoting in this flow, but also because at the end of the flow, if you'd like to work on splits for a brief moment with me before we do a cool down, you're welcome to. So gather whatever you'd like, and I'll meet you on the mat. Let's get started in a tabletop position. Set your shoulders up somewhat over your wrists and your hips somewhat over your knees. So to just move your hands in different directions, maybe facing one or both hands inward, rocking the shoulders back and forth. There isn't a ton of weight bearing in the class, but there is some. So it can be nice to give our wrists a little heads up, facing the fingers outwards and continuing that rock. It might feel nice to get a big stretch. Face the fingers back towards the knees and rock back. And any other motions you like to take at the beginning with the wrist. So sometimes I like to take the back of the hands to the mat. Wind down the motions of the wrist and bring the spine into play. Put a small bend into your elbows. Pull your heart through your biceps. Let your pelvis tilt forward. Press the ground away. Dome the back of the heart towards the sky. Tuck the tail. Let's add the breath. Inhale, pull your heart through your biceps. Drag your hands towards your knees. Exhale, press down and away. Spread your shoulder blades towards the sky. Inhale, pull your heart through your biceps. Press the back of the skull back. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, push into the floor. Keep going. with your own breath. You can switch the breath. You can forget about the breath and just focus on the movements. If you'd like to add in any side to side, maybe pressing into the side ribs or the side of the hip, doing some barrel roll actions, just warm up the spine a little bit. Pause the motions of your cat-cow. Firmly press through your hands, tiny bend in your elbows. Pull your low ribs away from the floor and lengthen your tail towards the back of the mat. Keep everything the same, but hover your right shin. Take it out to the right, like a puppy peeing on a fire hydrant. Small or big circles of that right knee in one direction. Pause and go the other way. Bring your right knee towards your right tricep, and then take a big rainbow behind of that right knee and tuck it behind the left. And while you do this, can you keep the pelvis as steady as possible? So rainbow back. Try not to let the low back move as much. Rainbow the right knee behind the left. Back towards the tricep. Doesn't have to touch. And behind that left knee. Forward. Just doing hip mobility and back. Forward and hold the right knee somewhere towards the right tricep. Press into the ground. Step the right foot outside of the right hand or help it get there. Walk your hands about 6 inches further forward and then squeegee your foot further forward so you can lean into that foot and kind of get off of the top of the left knee and become right above it. So now we're in like a little lizard stance with our right foot forward. You can always put your hands on blocks here as well. Tug your right foot back and your left knee forward. Notice how that changes things for you. And then let's focus on the back foot for a moment. So I like to kind of tuck my toes and shift my knee back a little bit. Think about squeezing through the back glute and pulling the pubic bone up towards the sternum here. So a little hip extension on the back leg. And you can always tuck the toe and lift up through the back knee if that feels interesting this early, or if you'd like to keep the foot down, that's fine too. What else do you like to do in your lizard? Maybe that is kind of press your right knee out to the right, coming to the knife edge of the foot. Maybe it's stretch and reach your right arm forward. You might like to bounce a little bit. If I do bounce, I often like to pick up my back knee. We've done a lot of lizard play throughout these, so what do you like to do in your lizard? Wind down the movements of your lizard. Tuck your back toes. Shift your hips backwards, coming onto your right heel. So like a half split, but your hands are probably further in front of you. It's a little bit extended. Leave the ankle somewhat soft. Press into your right heel and drag it back towards your left knee again. And so you can feel that hamstring happening. Spine can be long or folded. Not super important here. What do you want to do? Walk your hands underneath your shoulders if they're not there already. Even on blocks is fine. But inside of your front leg for a little bit more space. And do some of those small cat-cow motions here. Notice how they change. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, push dome away. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, spread your shoulder blades. Keep going with your breath. You might notice that for a lot of people, as we inhale and we think about pulling our heart through, you may feel more tension there on your hamstring. Keep pressing your heel down and dragging it towards your back knee. Any bend of that front leg is fine. Little cat-cow motions, because our pelvis is kind of already, it's not locked in position. It can move a little bit, but great. Walk your hands back forward so that they're about in line with your front foot, and just shift back and forth here. Lizard to half split. Exploring these motions through your body. Lizard to half split. Lizard. Half split. Lizard. Half split. Shift forward one more time to lizard. Pause. Tuck your back toe if it's not already. Lift up through the back knee. So lizard with that lifted hip. Squeeze through the back booty and tug your pubic bone towards your sternum. Press into your hands. Okay. Let your right toes be soft so they can peel off the ground. Shift your hips back to like a long stance pyramid pose. So my back foot, I'm still high up on the toe. Your front leg can be really bent here. And just shift back to like a little pyramid pose. Drag your right heel towards your back foot. Back to lizard. Pyramid pose. Lizard. Pyramid pose. Remember, your hands can be on blocks. Lizard. Pyramid pose. One more time. Lizard. Pyramid pose. Hold the pyramid pose. Press into your hands and start to drag, squeegee that right leg back. Back, 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 all the way past your left leg and up to three-legged dog. Oh, and I have a wall there. How nice. Adjust as needed in your three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take some circles. It's the same side that we did in our tabletop. Take some circles. And send your right leg up towards the sky. Tuck your right knee behind your left, squat low. And then send your right leg back up towards the sky, squeeze both legs. Doesn't matter if your hips are open or closed here. Tuck and load, bending both legs. Lift your right leg up high and squeeze. One more time like that. Tuck and load. Lift your right leg up high and squeeze. Okay, without thinking about it too much, switch your legs. And that could be a handstand hop. It could literally just be putting your right foot down and sending your left leg up, or vice versa. All we're doing this for is because technically we work the hamstring more on that right leg and the hip extension more on the left leg. So now, when you have your left leg up in the air, start to walk your hands back towards your right leg. At some point, both legs may bend, one leg may bend. Keep at least a small bend into that bottom leg, y'all. And think about squeezing through that top glute. I'm technically kind of cheating because I have the wall here, but we're just going to enjoy it for a second. Enjoy the cheat, right? Or you can try to hover off the wall. So anything that looks like an early standing split, right? Pour your upper body down over your lower body, even if that means you're really, really bent in both legs, y'all. Not important, okay? Let's find that same action that we did, except now in more of the standing split position. Tuck your left knee behind your right, bend both legs low, and then lift and squeeze your left leg towards the sky. Tuck, lift and squeeze. Tuck, lift and squeeze. Yay! Without thinking about it too much, switch your feet, y'all. Switch your feet. Right leg is in the air. Cool. Walk your hands back out. Three-legged dog. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. So, hey, we're right back to our lizard pose. Walk your hands up onto your right knee. Come up to a lunge position. Adjust your feet. Bend your back knee so that you have space to lengthen your tail and pull your pubic bone towards your sternum. Tuck your right hip back, left hip forward. Focus a little bit about hip extension, not so much about the front leg. So we're thinking about the back leg. Squeeze booty, pull pubic bone up. Tug right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe send your left arm up and take a little side bend towards the right. The more you kind of side bend, but also almost flex around through the spine and reach like long over your right toes with your left hand, you may feel a little bit more through the front of the left hip. Squeeze the booty, pull the pubic bone up. That will change things too. Okay, work both legs towards straight. Unwind to the left until you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Take a little bend into both legs. Hey, wide-legged forward fold. If you really want, you could take a wide-legged forward fold here. Sorry about my butt. If you want, you could take a wide-legged forward fold there or just kind of stand and bend into both hips. And then look towards your left leg. That's your back leg. Pivot towards your back leg. So you're in a little lunge here, but just for a moment. Widen your left foot out to the left. Place your hands down inside of your left foot and lower through your right knee. Take your left knee out to the left like a puppy peeing on a fire hydrant. Oh, hey. We're ready for the other side, right? So adjust your tabletop. So all we're doing is facing the back of the mat and doing the other side, y'all. Tabletop, left knee out to the left. Take some circles of the left knee. Try to keep the hips somewhat steady. Go the other direction. Pull the left knee towards the left tricep. And draw a big rainbow. Take the left knee and tuck it behind the right. Try to keep the hips steady as you do this and the low back steady. Back towards the tricep. Rainbow left knee behind the right. Tricep. Big rainbow, tuck the knee behind the other. Tricep. Rainbow. Tricep to hold. Push into your hands. Step your left foot outside of your hands here. Walk your hands about 6 inches further forward, technically towards the back of your mat, and then wiggle your foot up to meet it. Lean into that lizard. Adjust your back knee. Okay, dokie. What do you want to do here in your lizard on the other side? You could squeeze your right glute, pull the pubic bone up. Maybe you'd like to just hang or even come down to forearms. Come to the outer edge of that left foot. Some people like a twist. Some people like to tuck their back toes, lift their back knee, and do some bouncing. What do you want to do? Get another 5 seconds or so here in this hold or movement. Wind down the movement, tuck your back toe, keep the back knee down, shift the hips back, coming onto the left heel. Keep at least a small bend into that left leg. Press the left heel down and drag it towards the right knee. Notice how this changes things. I'm just here in this weird kind of extendy half split mode. I say extendy because our hands are walked forward. So the more our hands are walked forward and we're flexing at the hip, right? The more tension will be on that front hamstring. So right now we're just focusing on the hamstring a little bit of the front leg. Walk your hands so that they're underneath your shoulders. Sure, you can come to fists if you prefer, or have your hands on blocks inside of the left leg. Small cat-cow motions. Pull the heart through the bicep. Press the back of the heart towards the sky. You can use your breath here or not. 100% your choice. And just notice where you feel more tension. Can you keep the pressure of the left heel down and dragging back? Can you feel your left hamstring working while it stretches? Walk your hands back to where your left foot is. Rock forward into lizard. Rock back into your half split. Rock forward lizard. Rock back half split. Rock forward lizard. Rock back half split. The lower you put your hips and your torso, the more tension you'll feel in that hamstring. Rock forward. Rock back. Rock forward. Rock back. One more time like that. Rock forward. Rock back. And this time rock forward. Tuck the back toes and pick up the back knee. From your lizard high hips position, press into your hands, come onto your left heel and push back to something resembling like a weird pyramid, meaning you can stay high on the back foot or just let the heel drop low, your choice about what kind of stretch you want for the back leg. You can keep a soft ankle of that front foot, but drag the heel towards the back foot. Rock forward, the high hips lizard and pyramid. High hips lizard and pyramid. High hips lizard and pyramid. One more time. High hips lizard, pyramid. Press into your pyramid. Push into your hands. Squeegee, drag, pull your left leg all the way back. Three-legged dog. Adjust your three-legged dog as desired. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take some circles. Great. Tuck your left knee behind your right. Squat low. And then stretch your left leg back up, three-legged dog. Hips can open, fine. Tuck and stretch both legs open. Tuck, use the power of the glutes, the left glute, to help lift and squeeze that left leg. One more time like that. Tuck and lift. Switch legs however you want. Just switching them out or maybe doing a little hopsies. Right leg is in the air because we just stretched the left hamstring. Walk your hands back towards your left foot until you're in something resembling standing splits. Again, doesn't have to look anything fancy. Hips can be totally open. Legs can be super bent. Hang out here for a moment. Keep at least a small bend into that left leg. Those same pumps. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Bend both legs really deeply and then lift and squeeze to the right glute. Tuck, lift and squeeze, focusing mainly on the top leg. Keep the bottom leg at least slightly bent. Tuck, lift and squeeze. Tuck, lift and squeeze. One more time. Tuck, lift and squeeze. Put your hands down. Switch your legs. Don't think about it too much. Left leg is in the air again. Walk your hands back out. Three-legged dog. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Walk your hands onto your left leg and come up into your high lunge. Cool. Bend into your back knee. Lengthen the tail. Lift up through the pubic bone. Tug left hip back, right hip forward. Squeegee your legs together. Focus on extension of the back hip. Option 2, take the right arm up and side bend to the right. And then maybe even think about rounding slightly, a really active round through the spine, like you're reaching your right hand over the top left corner of your mat. Squeeze the glute and pull the pubic bone towards the sternum, though, as you do this. Great. Unwind, wide-legged forward fold towards the long edge of your mat. Hi, sorry about my butt. Not sorry. Come up from your wide-legged forward fold. Pivot back to the top of the mat. Right leg is in front. Lower the back knee and just shift onto the shins. Because, my friend, we are done with the warm-up. So that's a little warm-up. We'll be doing some of those components in the flow, but we're going to jump right into the full flow here and start slowly. And then after we do it slowly on each side, we'll start to pick up the pace and then maybe even do it slowly one more time at the end, because slow can be nice to not only get to know the sequence, but to be able to hold these postures for a moment and sink in a little bit deeper. And then fast can be nice. It can get us into flow state. It can help to build heat, right? But then revisiting slow towards the end, when we have that heat built, might let us have the ability to play with some of those components a little bit more and get deeper. Now, because this is flow and it's a little bit faster, it then becomes somewhat of your responsibility if you really want to target this idea of the pelvic positioning, so squeezing the back glute of whatever leg is behind and pulling your pubic bone up, right? And this idea of keeping active hamstrings in the front leg, which is like dragging your front foot back. So whether that's your heel or the knee, whatever you think about, pressing down and dragging the front leg back while you pull the back hip forward, right? And squeeze through the glute. Because we'll be pivoting in this flow, just like we did in the warm-up, so sometimes the front will become the back and the back will become the front. I suggest taking a block or an object and placing that at what is the front of your mat, because it becomes hard to call things the front and the back after we've spun and we're facing the other one, the other side. So then I like to use props to say like, oh, the prop side or the empty side. So we'll start with this idea that the front of the mat is the prop side of the mat, okay? And then the back of the mat is the empty side, yeah? If at any point, if I don't offer something for a modification or other alternatives, know that those are always available. You can change it up, you can skip it, you can do whatever it is that you would like to do to make this work for your body, and that's a great choice. Okay, enough talking. Let's go. Start in downward facing dog with your hands towards the prop side of your mat. Take a moment here in your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Squeeze through the glute. Hips can be open or closed. Start to walk the hands back towards the right foot, something that resembles standing split. Bend at least a little bit into that bottom leg. Tuck the left knee behind the right, Shiva squat. Extend back up, standing split. Tuck the left knee behind the right. Extend back up, standing split. Lower the left knee down to hover. Come up to a stand. At the empty side or the back side of your mat, pull your left knee in. Twist towards your left knee. Grab onto that knee. Open twist towards the left. Okay. Option to play with extending through that left leg for a little outer hip twist. Pull at least a slight bend into the bottom leg. Rebend into the left leg. Extend again. Rebend. Let go. Look towards the prop side of your mat. Step your left foot all the way towards the prop side of your mat. Lunge. Adjust your feet. Bend your back knee. Pull your pubic bone towards your sternum. Lunge into this, squeeze your back booty. Take your right arm up and side bend over towards the left. Maybe arc the spine a little bit. Squeeze your back booty. Cartwheel your right arm down and to the right as you pivot your feet to wide-legged forward fold. Okay, so right arm is down. Take your left arm up. Weave your left arm under your right and bend into your right leg, reaching past your right ankle. Unwind, left arm to the sky, straighten both legs. Weave your left arm underneath, past your right ankle. Unwind back to the sky. Okie dokie. Weave your left arm, grab onto your right ankle, or just reach if that's not available. I like the security of grabbing my hand to my ankle and kind of pulling them onto each other. If that feels secure, reach your right arm up towards the sky, twist open. Bring your right hand back down. Release the bind. Pivot back towards the prop side of your mat, that's the front, and lower your back knee. So you're in a little low lunge position. Adjust your right fingers out slightly and side bend over towards the right. Tug your left hip back. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. Use the power of your bottom arm, bend your elbow, push off of your arm, and come up to a low lunge. Cool, cool. Back toes can be tucked or untucked here. Lunge forward, thinking about the extension of the back hip. So lunge forward, squeeze the back booty, allow your knee to come past your toes if that's comfortable. Stretch your arms up, maybe even bend them. Big stretch along the front side of the body here. Shift the hips back into something that resembles half splits. Reach the arms forward. Press through the front heel, drag it towards the back knee. One more time like that. Shift forward, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Squeeze through the back booty. Pull the pubic bone towards the sternum. Shift the hips back, half split. Okay, here's a weird transition. Look to the left, take your left hand down, and just sit. Okay? Adjust your right leg as needed. So it's like this little half Virasana, but it's a messy one. We did, I think, Virasana in part 2, and I'm not really a fan of a strict one. It just doesn't feel good on my knee. So do whatever you need to do. That means like the knee in or out, legs a little bit wider, moving the skinnier calf. We won't be here for too long once we pick up the pace. Take your body and shift it towards your straight leg, your left leg, and take a little walk forward and fold to whatever degree feels interesting to you. You can turn your left leg out or keep the toes facing upright. Walk back. Walk those fingers forward and fold. Walk back. Lean more into that left hip, Maybe even have your left hand down. Look at your right leg. Hey, right leg. Straighten it out to the right. So you're making like a 90-degree angle and then come onto your booty. So left leg's on the mat, right leg's out to the right. Fold in the middle of the space, wide-legged forward fold. Again, you choose what to do with your legs. Do you want to turn them out? Do you want to keep them perfectly upright? Push your heels in and drag them back towards your sit bone. Fold. And peel yourself back up. Fold. And peel yourself back up. Look at your leg that's on the mat. Bend it. Plant the sole of the foot. Angle your torso towards that bent leg. Take your right hand. Grab onto that ankle. It's your left ankle, so it's kind of crossing your body. Take your left arm up. Push your right heel down and drag it towards your sit bone. And side bend over that straight leg. Come back up. Side bend over that straight leg. Come back up. Use the pull of the hand on the ankle. You can even take both of your hands onto your bent leg shin. Pick up your other leg. I know. Bring it to the middle. Bring it back out. Bring it to the middle. Bring it back out. I know. Bring it to the middle and release it. Okie dokie. Left leg is still bent. Grab somewhere on it. I don't know. The back of the hamstring, the knee, the calf. Work that left leg towards straight. A few times. A few pumps here just for this first round. So a little bit. Keep a long spine. Sit up tall. And if that means you're just like here, that's great. You can work towards straight. Pull it in towards the face. Hold for a moment. Cross. Left foot over right leg. Twist. towards the left. You can hug onto your leg. You can hook your tricep. Doesn't matter. What do you want from this twist? Counter twist to the right, kind of dumping your brain and bowing through the head. Okay, now gaze up at me for just a second. We'll counter twist into like a weird stance down dog. So look up at me for a second. So if I wanted to unwind my legs, I would keep twisting to the right, put my hands towards the empty or the back side of my mat, and unwind. And I'll end up in like this weird stance down dog. So join me there, facing the empty side of the mat. Left leg is forward. Press into your hands and step your left foot a little bit further towards your hands so that you're more like in a lizard stance. Here in your lizard, squeeze your back booty, pull the pubic bone up. Shift the hips back like you're in that weird little pyramid from the beginning, coming up onto the left heel. Come back into your lizard. Shift the hips back, little pyramid. Come back into your lizard. Okay, shift the hips back into your pyramid. Slide, squeegee that left leg back all the way to three-legged dog. Here in your three-legged dog, hey hands, tuck your left knee behind your right, lower and squat, and then kick your left leg up, squeeze. Lower and squat, tuck your left knee behind your right, kick it up, squeeze. Here's our kick switch. So you can just switch your legs. You can do a little handstand. You can use that knee tuck to then switch your legs until the right leg is in the air, y'all. Right leg in the air. Walk your hands back toward your left leg, standing split. Keep at least a small bend into that bottom leg. Lower your right knee and tuck it behind your left, bending into both knees. Lift it up, standing split, squeeze through the top glute. Lower your right knee behind your left. Lift it up, squeeze, standing split. Lower your right knee to hover. Come to a stand, balance challenge, I know. You're facing the empty side of your mat. Pull your right knee in, twist towards your right knee. Option to stay here or to play with the idea of working the right leg towards straight, foot flexed or pointed. Rebend. Straighten, keep a bend in the bottom leg. Rebend. Release your hands, face your torso towards the empty side of your mat. Right leg, step it all the way to the empty side of your mat, lunge. Bend into your back knee, set your pelvis up for success. Little crescent pose here, little lunge. Left arm up, side bend. Find that little round through the spine as you reach towards the top right-hand corner and tug your right hip back, left hip forward. Rainbow. Left hand down, wide-legged forward fold. Reach your right arm up. As you weave your right arm through your left, bend into your left knee. Back to that open twist. Weave your right arm past your left leg, bending into that left leg, and up to the sky. Weave your right arm through. Maybe grab onto that left ankle, and if you do, kind of pull on each other. If that feels secure, release your left arm towards the sky and twist. Bring the left hand back down. Release the bind. Face towards the empty side of your mat. That means right leg will be in front. Pivot on your feet and lower your back knee. So we're in a low lunge with the right leg in front, facing the empty side of the mat. Move your left hand out to the left and side bend. Great. Power of the left arm. Bend that elbow. Pop up to your low lunge. Here's our Anjaneyasana at a half split variation, right? So lunge forward, squeezing through the back booty. Anjaneyasana. Maybe arms up or cactus. What feels good for you here? Anjaneyasana. Shift the hips back, something that resembles half split. Keep that front heel pushing down and dragging towards the back knee. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Shift back, half split. Okay, one more time like that. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Shift back, half split. Look towards the right. Take your right hand down and just lower your hips to your weird like half stance virasana. Adjust your calf out of the way, adjust the setup. You got this. Face your straight leg. That is your right leg. Press your heel down and drag it towards your sit bone, and then walk your fingers out, fold. Peel yourself back up. Fold. Peel yourself back up. Lean into your right hand to give yourself space to send your left leg out to the left. So you're making like a 90-degree angle. Pop up, face the middle of your legs, and take a little wide-legged forward fold. Press your heels down, drag them towards your sit bones. Come back up. And a wide-legged forward fold. Come back up. Your leg that's on the mat, it's your right leg. Bend it. Grab onto it. Face it. You've got this. Pick up your left leg. Bring it to the center. Bring it out. Bring it to the center. Bring it out. Bring it to the center and release it. Oh, I know. Take your hands somewhere on your right leg. That's your bent leg that you were touching already. And bring it somewhat towards straight, or focus on bringing it to your face. What do you want to do here? Bend and straighten. We'll call this our compass pose. One more time. Bend and straighten. It's like bend and snap. Cross your right leg over your left and twist towards that bent leg. Doesn't have to be your deepest twist. Counter twist towards the left to kind of bow your brain. Okay, and we're going to find that funky transition again. So look towards the block side of your mat. Pivot towards the block side of your mat. You'll end up in like a funky downward facing doggy stance with the right leg kind of forward. Shift the right foot outside of the right hand to more of that lizard pose. Squeeze through the back booty. Shift the hips back, come into that pyramid stance. Back to our lizard. Pyramid stance. Back to our lizard. Pyramid stance. Drag, squeegee that right leg all the way back. Three-legged dog. Tuck the right knee behind the left. Stretch both legs apart. Tuck the right knee behind the left. Squat low. Stretch both legs apart. Okay, here we go. Tuck, and maybe as you stretch both legs apart, you give it a little hop and you switch legs until the left leg's in the air. Okay, we're going to pick up the pace a little and drop some of the repetitions. So we're in downward facing dog. Left leg is lifted, facing the block side of our mat. Walk your hands back. Standing split. Tuck your top leg behind your bottom and then stretch it up. Standing split. Lower your left knee to hover. Come to a stand. Whoa. Pulling your left knee towards your chest. Twist towards the left leg. Straighten out through the left leg. Rebend. Release the bind. Face the block. Step your left foot towards the block. Lunge. Take your right arm up, side bend. Squeeze your back booty, set your pelvis. Even as we move faster, set yourself up for success. Cartwheel, the right hand down, wide-legged forward fold. Left arm up. Weave your left arm under and through. Maybe grab onto your right ankle, bend into your right knee. Maybe send the right arm up and open it towards the sky. Release the right arm back down. Release the bind. Face the blocks. Lower to a low lunge. Right hand's on the floor, but maybe you move it out. Side bend. Bounce off that bottom arm. Come up to your lunge. I like to leave the back toe untucked, just knowing where we're going with that Virasana, but that might not be you. Come forward, Anjaneyasana. Lunge, lunge, squeeze the back booty. Send the hips back, half split. Use your left hand for support as you lower your left booty and come to your half Virasana sit. Fold over that long leg. Pick up the torso. Straighten the right leg out to the right. 90-degree angle. Fold, wide-legged forward fold in the middle of your space. Pick up the torso. The leg that's on the mat. Bend it. Grab onto it. Oh, you know what? We forgot to do the side bend on the other leg. I just realized that. Grab onto it with the right arm and side bend over your right leg. Sorry, we forgot to do it. I was like, something felt wrong there. Sadness. Come up. Using the pressure of the hands on that left leg, pick up your right leg and bring it in towards the midline. Release it. Stretch your left leg towards straight, compass pose. Cross your left leg over your right. Twist towards that bent leg. Counter twist. Look towards the empty side of the mat. That's the back of the mat. Pivot to your weird down dog stance. Left leg will be in front. Step your left foot outside your left hand lizard. Shift the hips back to that funky pyramid. Squeegee your left leg all the way to three-legged dog. Tuck the left knee behind the right, and then stretch the left leg back up, three-legged dog. Switch the legs however you'd like. Kick switch, or just switching the legs until the right leg is in the air because we're ready for the other side, y'all. Facing the empty side of the mat. Three-legged dog. Right leg is lifted. Walk your hands back. Standing split. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Squat low. Back up to our standing split. Come to a stand. Pull the right knee towards the chest. Twist towards that right leg. Maybe work it towards straight. Rebend. Facing the empty side of the mat. Step your right leg. Set up your lunge for success. Left arm up, side bend. Cartwheel the left hand down, wide-legged fold. Right arm up. Weave your right arm through. Bend into your left leg, maybe grab onto your left ankle. Maybe lift the left arm up, open twist. Release the left hand back down. Look towards the empty side of the mat, release the bind. Pivot to the empty side of the mat, low lunge. Left hand still down, side bend. Pop off that left arm, lunge. Maybe leave the back toes untucked. Anjaneyasana, low lunge, lunge forward, squeeze the booty, pull the pubic bone up. Half split. Use your right hand to lower your right booty. Adjust your half virasana. Fold over that straight leg. Pick up the torso. Lean to the right. Extend your left leg out. Wide-legged fold. Towards the middle. Pick up the torso. Here's the part we missed last time. Bend into your right leg. Take your left hand onto that right ankle. Face towards that bent leg. Use the pull of the hand to help you. Right arm up and side bend over that leg. We'll hold this for a moment here. Since we didn't get to. Peel yourself back up. Pressure of the hand or hands on that right leg. Lift your left and bring it to the midline. Whew. Grab onto your right leg somewhere. Work it to or towards straight. Maybe you pull it in towards your face. Hi, hamstring. Cross the right ankle over the left leg. Twist towards the bent leg. Counter twist. We'll face the block side or the front of the mat in that weird little down dog stance. Right leg in front. Step the right leg outside of the right hand lizard. Shift it back, little pyramid. Squeegee that right leg all the way up to three-legged dog. One tuck of the right knee behind the left. Back to our three-legged dog. Switch your legs. Picking up the pace just a little bit here, y'all. So we're facing the block side of the mat. Three-legged dog. Left leg is lifted. Walk back. Standing split. Tuck the left knee behind the right. Squat low. Standing split. Come up to a stand. Left knee to chest. Twist to the left. Straighten the left leg. Rebend. Face the block side. Step that left foot out to a lunge. Set your pelvis and side bend over towards the left. Cartwheel the right arm down. Wide-legged forward fold. Left arm up. Weave the left arm through. Bend into the right leg and grab onto that ankle. Right arm to the sky. Rewind. Right hand down. Face the block side. Low lunge. Side bend. Bounce off that bottom arm. Maybe come to the top of the foot. Anjaneyasana. Half split. Lower yourself down to your Virasana seat. Fold over the long leg. Pick it up. Send your right leg towards straight. Wide-legged forward fold towards the middle. Pick it back up. Bend into your left leg, the one on the mat. Cross the right hand over to the ankle. Side bend over the straight leg. Pick it up. Grab onto the bent leg. Pick up the straight leg and put it onto the mat. Grab onto the bent leg, straighten it, compass. Cross left foot over the right leg. Twist to the bent leg. Counter twist. Unwind to the empty side of the mat into that funny little stance here. Maybe drag your left foot up to lizard pose. Shift the hips back, weird pyramid stance. Squeegee that left leg back, three-legged dog. One tuck of the left knee behind the right, squat low. Three-legged dog, split the legs apart. Switch legs however you want. Boop. Right leg is up. Walk your hands back, standing split. Tuck right knee behind left, standing split. Come to a stand, right knee to chest, twist towards that bent leg. Maybe straighten the leg. Rebend. Facing the empty side of the mat, lunge. Set your pelvis up, left arm up, side bend. Left hand down, wide-legged forward fold. Weave your right arm through, grab onto your left ankle. Open the twist up, maybe lifting through the left hand. Bring the left hand down. Release the bind. Look towards the empty side of the mat, pivot to low lunge, adjust your left hand, side bend. Pop up, maybe come to the top of the back foot. Anjaneyasana. Squeeze the back booty. Half split. Use your right hand to assist with the lower to your Virasana stance. Fold over that front leg. Pick it up. Lean more to the right. Extend the left leg out. Wide-legged forward fold. Pick it up. Bend into the leg that's on the mat. Cross your left arm across and take a side bend over that left leg. Pick it up. Grab onto your bent leg. Use the power to pull your other leg onto the mat. Grab onto that leg. Straighten the right leg. Cross the right ankle over the left. Twist. Counter twist. Look towards the block side. Pivot. We are down dog. Step the right foot outside of the right hand. Lizard. Shift the hips back. Funky pyramid. Squeegee that right leg all the way to three-legged dog. One tuck of the right knee behind the left. Squat low. Open it up. Three-legged dog. Kick, switch. Bloop. Now the left leg is up. Here we go. Walk back. Standing splits. Tuck. Left knee behind right. Standing split. Come to a stand. Left knee to chest. Twist towards that leg. Straighten the leg. Rebend. Step the left leg towards the block. Lunge. Side bend. Cartwheel the right arm down. Wide-legged fold. Left arm up. Weave the left arm across to the right ankle. Grab on. Maybe open it up. Reverse. Right hand down. Look towards the block. Pivot to low lunge. Side bend. Pop up. Top of the back foot. Anjaneyasana. Lunge forward. Shift back. Half split. Lower down to your Virasana seat. Fold over the straight leg. Peel up. 90-degree angle. Wide-legged forward fold. Peel up. Bend the leg that's on the mat. Use your right hand on that ankle and side bend over that straight leg. Peel up. Grip your bent leg. Pick up your other leg and bring it onto the mat. Left leg compass. Or sundial, technically, I think. Cross your left leg over your right. Twist towards the bent leg. Unwind, counter twist. Shift into that funky stance, empty side of the mat. Left leg is forward. Step it outside of the left hand, lizard. Shift back, pyramid. Squeegee the left leg all the way to three-legged dog. Tuck the left knee behind the right and extend up. Kick switch. Right leg is up. Walk your hands back. Standing split. Tuck right knee behind left. Standing split. Come up to a stand. Right knee to chest. Twist. Straighten the leg. Rebend. Look at the empty side of the mat. Step to lunge. Set up your pelvis. Side bend. Left hand down, wide-legged forward fold. Reach your right arm through to your left leg, bend deeply. Grab onto that ankle, open. Reverse, left hand down, release the bind. Look to the empty side, low lunge. Side bend. Pop up, top of the back foot. Anjaneyasana, lunge forward. Half split, come back. Release down to a seat. Fold over that straight leg. Come up. 90-degree angle, wide-legged fold. Come up. Bend into that right leg. Use your left hand on that ankle. Side bend over your straight leg. Peel up. Pick up your straight leg and bring it onto the mat. Sundial. Straighten out through your bent leg. Cross it over your left. Twist towards the bent leg. Counter twist. Unwind, weird down dog stance. Lizard pose, right foot forward. Shift back, funky pyramid. Squeegee that right leg all the way back. Tuck the right knee behind the left. Open it up. Three-legged dog. Kick switch. All right, we're going to go through one more time, but slower this time with long holds in certain sections. All right, y'all? So we are facing the block side of the mat with the left leg lifted in three-legged dog. Walk your hands back. Standing split. Hold the standing split. Keep at least a small bend into the bottom leg and really squeeze through the top glute. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let the hips open if they need to. No big deal. Tuck the left knee behind the right, squat low. And then use this momentum to lift and squeeze one more time, standing split. Keep at least that small bend in the bottom leg. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Pour your torso down on top of your front leg, your bottom leg. Slowly lower the left leg to hover and come up to a stand. Left knee to chest. Whew. Twist towards that bent leg. Straighten out through the leg. And release. Step that left foot to the block side of the mat. Lunge to hold. Set up your lunge for success. Maybe even make it a longer lunge than before. Squeegee your feet out. Lengthen your tail. Pull your pubic bone up. You'll have more space to do this if you bend your bottom leg. Squeeze your booty, and then you can work it to or towards straight. Take your right arm up. Side bend over towards the left. Tug your left hip back, right hip forward. Really squeeze through that back booty. Cartwheel your right hand down, wide-legged fold. Left arm up. Reach it through across to your right ankle, bend it into that leg. Maybe the right arm reaches to the sky. Open the twist. Release your right hand back to the ground. Release the bind. Look towards the block side of the mat. Lower to your low lunge. Side bend into the right side. Pop up. Now set your Anjaneyasana up for success. If you want to lengthen your stance, go for it. If you want to keep it nice and short, go for it. Lunge forward, focusing on the back hip. So it's less about the front and more about the back. Can you think about pulling your pubic bone towards your sternum and really squeezing through that back booty? Tug your right hip forward and your left hip back. What do you want to do here? Shift back to a half split. Maybe your hands are on the ground here. Experiment with folding over that front leg while dragging your front heel towards your back knee. Is your front leg at least slightly bent? Can you press it into the floor and hug it towards your right knee? If you have no problem folding in your half split, think about arcing your sternum slightly towards your left foot. So can you pull your sternum towards the front of the mat? That could change the sensation on the hamstring. Okay, great. If your back toes are tucked, untuck them and shift onto the left hip. Whew. Coming down into your weird little half Virasana seat from maybe a slightly different angle. So adjust yourself since we'll be here for a longer hold. This time, keep the top of the left foot facing the sky just for a little extra stretch here. Press the heel down, drag it back. Feel the hamstring engage before we fold forward to whatever degree over that front leg. Same. If you're like, I feel no stretch, think about stretching your sternum more towards your ankle while you keep that pressure of the heel dragging down and back. Peel yourself up. Lean into the side and make your 90-degree angle. Wide-legged forward fold for a slightly longer hold. Push the heels down, drag them towards your sit bones. You can let the ankles be soft, or you can experiment with flexing through the feet and see if that makes a difference for you. Peel yourself up. Bend into your left leg. That's the one that's on the mat. Face that left leg. Right hand on the left ankle. Side bend over that long leg. You don't have to grip here. It just feels really nice for my shoulder. There's lots of things you could focus on here, right? You can focus on keeping your left booty down, or you can let your left booty lift and kind of get more compression. What do you want? What feels nice in your body? Peel yourself up. Grab onto the bent leg. Pick up your other leg and move it onto the mat. All right, sundial. So grab somewhere onto that left leg. Work it to or towards straight. Work it up towards your torso and sit up tall and strong. Cross your left leg over your right. Twist towards the left. Unwind, counter twist. Pivot to the empty side of the mat. Adjust your left foot so it's in lizard. Shift back, long stance pyramid, coming onto the left ankle. Drag your left heel firmly towards your back foot until you really feel that hamstring light up as you bow and bend. Squeegee the left leg all the way back, three-legged dog. Tuck the left knee behind the right. And open it back up, three-legged dog. Kick switch. Last time, last side with those longer holds. Walk your hands back towards your left foot, standing split. Squeeze. Keep at least a small bend into that left leg. Squeeze through the right booty. Pour your torso down. Tuck the right knee behind the left. Get low, and then use that power to lift back up into your standing split. Small bend into that bottom leg. Lower your right knee to hover. Come to a stand. Pull the right knee to chest. Twist towards that leg. Straighten the right leg. Rebend. Release the bind. Look to the empty side of the mat. Step to a lunge. Set your lunge up for success and maybe make it a little longer stance than usual. Bend into the back knee. Give yourself space to pull your pubic bone up. Squeeze the back booty. And then you can work the back leg to or towards straight. Tug the right hip back, left hip forward. Left arm up, side bend. Cartwheel the left hand down, wide-legged forward fold, right arm up. Weave the right arm through, grab onto the bent left leg. Maybe the left arm comes up, open twist, and rewind. Left hand to the floor, release the bind. Look to the empty side, lower to your low lunge. Side bend over towards the left. Pop up. Adjust for your Anjaneyasana. I'm going to leave my back toes tucked here, but lengthen my stance. And then get yourself into a low lunge of choice. I like to really think about my back hip here, so kind of not worrying so much about my front leg and just really squeezing through the back booty and pulling my pubic bone up. I get more support when I push into my front leg with a hand to do this. But some people like to stretch the left arm up or to reach inside or around the front leg. What do you want to do here? You can even do a quad stretch. I know we didn't do that on the other side, but hey, what do you want to do here? Half split, shift the hips back. Really think about pressing that front heel down and dragging it towards the back knee. Keep at least a small bend in that front leg as you pour the torso down. And remember, if you're like, I don't really feel so much in the half split, think about dragging your sternum towards the empty side of your mat while keeping the pressure of the left heel down and back. Untuck the back toe. Use your right hand to help you sit down and adjust to your half virasana stance. I don't know why these are rolling a lot today. All right. Set your leg up for success. Push the front heel down, drag it back, fold over that straight leg. Pick yourself up. 90-degree stance, wide-legged forward fold. As you fold in the middle, push your heels down and drag them towards your sit bones. Pick up through the torso. Curl the right heel in. Use the left hand on it and side bend. Again, your choice. You could try to keep that right booty down. It'll be more of a stretch to the right side body, which isn't a bad thing. Or you can kind of fold more and let the right booty lift. It's a little bit more about the inner thighs and the hamstring. Come up, grab onto that bent leg, pull the other leg in. Sundial pose. Work the right leg to or towards straight. Maybe work it up towards your face. You take it out a little bit. We talk a lot in the other classes about experimenting with leg position in and out, the rotation of the leg for splits. Our pelvises are all set up differently. Not just our pelvis, but our leg bones, and our knees and our lower legs, and everything comes into play. Cross the right ankle over the left, twist towards the bent leg. Counter twist. Unwind, funky down dog, facing the block side of the mat. Step your right foot to lizard. Shift the hips back, weird pyramid. Drag that right heel down and back. Firmly, firmly, firmly. And then squeegee it all the way to three-legged dog. One last pump. Tuck your right knee behind your left, get low. And then stretch it up, three-legged dog. Nice. Release your right shin and your left shin down. Cool. We did it, y'all. So, brief offering to play with the actual splits now. We've been doing a lot of splitty things, right? If you do have your two blocks that I recommended, I think that those are great options. If you want to just continue playing with this in half split, that is a lovely place to be. Or if you're like, I'm skipping this part and just doing the brief cool down together, and it's very brief. But if you want to do that, you are totally welcome to do that. But if you do want to play with the splits now that you're warm and compare it to how your splits have felt in some of the other classes, it's interesting. Some of us respond really well to flow and movement, and some respond well to more of the drills and the repetition or the static holds, right? There's different needs. So with your blocks, I like to put them either on the medium or even the tall setting, and I don't think tall setting works well for foam blocks, so just keep that in mind. Bring your right leg forward and tuck your back toes. Keep a bend in both legs, and then start to squeegee that right foot forward until you're in kind of a bent leg stance, which we've done before. Yes, you can put a blanket under your back knee if that's more comfortable, but you try to get almost on top of the knee so you're not right on the kneecap, you're above it, right? Now, we've talked about this in all of our other classes. The more you bring your blocks forward and bow, the more pressure and tension it'll be on the hamstring, but you'll alleviate pressure on the back hip. The more you walk your hands back, even if they're up, right, the more hip extension you'll have, so the more tension on the back hip. And the less tension you'll have on the hamstring. So it's really up to you. So here in this bent leg position, play with a few different things. What is harder for you? Is it harder to bend and get some hamstring tension, or is it harder to maybe lift the back knee and squeeze through the back glute, pulling the pubic bone toward the sternum? wherever you need to be, slowly inch your way forward. If at some point you're like, I need to come onto my front heel versus my whole sole of the foot down, that's great. When I do that, it feels like a lot of pressure in my back knee, so I put my back knee down. But I'm still really thinking about, look at this. This is kind of loosey-goosey, and then I'm thinking about squeezing through the booty and pulling up the pubic bone. Am I worried about perfectly squaring my hips? No, I'm not. I am worried about pushing my front heel down and dragging it back, even while I'm squeezing it further and further out. And then it's this idea of kind of contracting towards the midline and then slightly relaxing. Contracting towards the midline and slightly relaxing. When I say slightly, I mean I'm still keeping some tension. I lower the blocks a little bit to give myself more space, and I maybe squeegee my front foot out a little bit further. So I'm never just kind of like splatting down. I'm kind of tugging back even when I'm slightly relaxing, so that there's still tension there of kind of pulling back and holding back from my deepest place. So wherever you would like to be on this, we won't be here for too much longer. It's just nice to kind of tune in. If at some point you want to put the top of the back foot down, or even experiment with letting the leg open, the hip open, be my guest, y'all. Splits are a lot. Thinking about all of our components, squeezing through the back booty, pulling the pubic bone towards the sternum, dragging the front heel back towards the sit bone. Even if that means you're not in your deepest plop. Is it fine to go to your deepest plop? Yeah, if that feels okay in your body, go for your deepest plop. And then experiment. And notice if it gets any deeper if you are engaging. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tug back. Ugh. Slowly reset for a moment in like a tabletop position or something, and just squeeze your legs together, or maybe even come up to like a down dog. Oh, stretch the back of your knees. It could be a lot. And then set up for the other side, which is very different for me. Left foot forward, back toes tucked. Start to squeegee your front foot forward. And again, you can experiment with having the blocks inside of your front foot. We talked about this a lot, how a lot of people have more space, even from a bony perspective, with the legs slightly out. And then it's kind of setting you up more for things like Ekapada Kudanasana B or EPKB, where the foot is a little bit more out to the side, right? Get comfortable on the back leg and then find that hip extension for the back. Squeeze through the booty, pull the pubic bone up. Are you dragging your front foot back towards your back knee? Maybe squeegee out a little bit further. Your choice again. Whether to go higher on the blocks, bringing the torso more upright, having yourself find more hip extension, or folding over and thinking more about hamstring tension, right? If at some point you want to come up onto the front heel or lift up through the back knee in like this really long, crazy lizard, that's also a great place to be. Hug in and slightly soften. Hug in and slightly soften. Again, I like to put my back knee down for pressure's sake and then start to squeegee my leg. I need to actually move a little bit more towards the center though. I'm still going to angle it out, but inside of my hands. Wherever you want to be. As you can see, this side is not my favorite, but I could still do it if I plop, but we're not looking for a plop today. I'm looking for more of an actus, but that's me. If you really want to plop, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. It's really hard for my right hip to find hip extension. And my left hamstring, but mainly my right hip to find hip extension. I'll be here for another 20 seconds or so, wherever here is for you. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tug back. Ooh, spicy. Move your blocks out of the way. And of course, if you want to keep working on those, you're like, no, finally feeling warm now. Go ahead. You can keep working on your splits or do anything else that you have planned. But if you'd like to do a really brief cool down with me, come on to your belly. Hello, belly. I don't know if we've really been on the belly at all, like all of these 5 classes. That's really too bad. Oh, maybe a little bit when we were sliding around with our slip and slide. But anyway, wiggle your hips from side to side. I neglect the belly down postures. Let your legs be soft. They've done a ton of work. But do press your pubic bone into the floor and squeeze your glutes. So let the legs do whatever they kind of want to, but push your pubic bone down, squeeze your glutes. Take your hands to fingertips outside of your mat, elbows up, so outside of your shoulders, and then gently peel your torso away from the floor. Squeeze your booty, push your pubic down. Roll your shoulder blades onto your back. Keep a bend in your elbows. If you want to come to flat hands, that's fine too. Drag your hands towards the back of the mat as you pull your sternum towards the front. Are you still squeezing the booty? It doesn't have to be like this huge back bend. You can stay nice and low. Pull the shoulder blades down. Squeeze them together. I'm here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take your right arm out to a cactus. Curl your left heel in. Roll to your right side body to whatever degree feels interesting. If you want to tap those left toes behind you, great. If you want to just lay your left leg down on top of your right. I actually like to tap my toes down and then kind of make a figure 4 with my right leg. It actually feels really nice from a support perspective, but I recognize that that probably is not true for everyone. If you prefer a different pec stretch, like with the right arm straight, back out of the stretch first, and then maybe straighten your arm, put it closer to the body. Release, unwind. Take it to the other side. Left arm out to a cactus. Curl your right heel in. Maybe you tuck those toes behind you, or you just lay your right leg down on your left, coming onto your left hip. You can also do that figure 4. It just kind of lets my legs somewhat relax so I can focus on my pecs. The more you kind of push your right hand down and away, the more you will feel, well, the likelihood that you will feel the sensation, and your front of your left shoulder will probably increase. Gently release. Make your way onto your back body. Walk your feet together or as close together as it feels comfy, and squeeze the inner thighs for a moment. Squeeze them towards each other. Bending the knees, planting the soles of the feet. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Push into your feet, lift your hips, and move them a few inches over to the right, and then drop your knees over to the left. Roll to the left until both knees stack on top of each other on the floor, and your right shoulder stacks on top of your left. I like to take my left hand behind my head here, and then my right arm. It's almost like a little pillow. And then leaving the knees heavy, peel the right elbow open and to the right. Leave the knees heavy, leave the left shoulder down. So the right elbow won't come to the floor. We're just kind of peeling it open. Close it. Peel it open. Ooh. Close it. Peel it open. Now, if you want to stay here, that's great. Or if you'd like to kind of soften this twist and let the right shoulder come to the floor, even if the knees change positions, that's great too. If you prefer a different variation of twist, be my guest. All right, y'all, let's take it to the other side. Unwind. Back to our back. Lift the hips and move them over towards the left, and let the knees come to the right. Roll all the way to the right until your shoulders and hips stack. Hands behind your head, elbows wide. Big rainbow of the left elbow up and open while you keep the knees heavy and the right shoulder heavy. Close it down. Rainbow open. Close it down. Rainbow open. Feel free to hold here or adjust to a different variation of your twist, doing whatever you'd like with your knees and shoulders. A reminder that even if you've done all these 5 classes and you feel like splits are really far away and that's something that's important to you in your practice, that these extreme range of motion postures do require a lot of consistency and tinkering in our body and being curious about how we can use props and activation and a combination of different drills to make this work for us, but also just time and coming back. If you found you were really, really far from splits, it's not going to be something that a quick stretch or even just a quick 5-class program gets into a ton, right? You can come back and do this program. That's what's wonderful about online spaces. Slowly unwind and take any other final postures that you'd like before getting comfy, maybe on your back body or on your belly or on your side. What else do you need in your body space? But I highly do encourage you to come back and play. These classes were built in order 1 through 5, but if you've done that and now you'd like to tinker with some that felt really challenging or even some that felt really easeful and see how deep you can get there, I highly encourage you. I also encourage those who have been doing the program to reach out to me with kind of your status and even a video or picture of you and what you're finding challenging or successful. I love sharing in your successes, but I also love trying to help, right? Giving my thoughts. All bodies are different, and it's really, really hard when we're not together in person and can't walk all the way around, but videos do really help. So if you are looking for some assistance, I'm more than happy to help. You can DM me a video on Instagram, whether it's through Authentic Movements or Casa. I do see the Casa ones faster. So if you want to send it to me on Instagram or even just hit me up on the app, I am more than happy to assist on the journey towards splits or anything else, y'all. As always, thank you so much for joining me. This program was developed because people really asked for it. I have another program coming up for tiny shorts for those who work at a desk, and that's been asked for. I have more beginner classes, a few more handstand flows, and some more back bends coming up. So lots of goodies, but if there's something that you specifically would like, please let me know, and I will add it to the list. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.